Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, the podcast for all things Mecha. Jumpship incoming.
All right. Welcome to episode 46 of Mobile Armor Radio. I am this month's host, Chopper, and joined with me is our good friend,
Rob.
Hi, Rob. Co-host Brian has been stricken ill.
You got the con crud.
He got the con crud, maybe. But he is in dire straits, and we are going to probably have to hardwire him into a mech to save his life.
We've already left him for dead. It's all good.
No, we could do this. We could hardwire a human and have the first cyber mech.
He's going to be a giant cyborg?
Yes.
Well, so this might be a short episode since there's only two of us, so it's going to be a third the length. Plus Brian talks more, so it's going to be real short. So don't expect much.
It could be all right, though. We got some things to talk about.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So, all right. With that, let's move on to... Oh, Christ, I already forgot. Let's move on to the Dropship. Yes?
Never remembers. Yes.
Was it right?
Dropship landing.
All right, so these are things that we are working on. Unfortunately, I have not been working on a lot. Playing games counts in ComStar, right?
That's all ComStar.
All right. So working-wise, still in the cleanup phase of the remodel. I am in the process of organizing the office, which contains a plethora of boxes of Battletech Inner Sphere lances that my good friend Rob and I kickstarted, and I got all the Inner Sphere, he got all things. So I'm organizing that, plus all the Robotech stuff. Jesus Christ, I got a lot of stuff here.
You mean there's a lot of stuff in the Horde?
Well, this is not even in the Horde. This is upstairs in the office.
Oh, never made it to the Horde yet.
No, but then what compounds it even worse is down all the stuff that we moved out of the hallway closet and all the other things during the remodel is in here now too. So it's a mixture of towels, tablecloths, toilet paper, and mechs.
That's all things for your table for battling. So just pile it up there, and you can use that as all terrain.
But I am getting ready. I really need to get back to hobbying again. I really got a bad itch for it, especially after Adepticon. So I want to get the 3D printers all set up and going again. I want to get the painting table working. I really want to, because I did a lot of things at Adepticon, which talk about ComStar, which just really lit a fire under me. So I just need to get organized. I need to get the work space together.
Well, I also consider my dropship will also be having things that I bought. So is there anything you bought it mech-wise at Adepticon or no?
Oh, is that dropship also?
Yeah, I put my bought stuff in Dropship.
All right, so I bought a lot of Battletech stuff. So Catalyst Games was at Adepticon this year. And so I bought a lot of books. We did a little bit of product trade. One of the guys came over and really was into Armada and said, hey, how much of this fleet? And I said, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, all right, come by. And then I got blah, blah, blah. It was worth the amount of books. So I picked up the Dark Age TRO. I got the new Battle Force book. I got the advanced rules for Battle Force. There was another one that I picked up, and I can't remember. Do you remember what I said it was?
What's the other new one that came out? Oh, it was Strategic Operations something, I think.
Oh yeah, Strategic Operations.
It's got another name too. There's a third name. I can't remember. Yeah, Interstellar. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, you got all the new books that just got released.
I got all the new books.
They must be just, I think probably Adepticon was probably the first place they were even released publicly.
Yeah. So, and then I picked up, I think I picked up some clan books. I don't know why I did that, but I think I did. Just because I needed to fill out the amount
Know thy enemy. That's why.
I needed. So I think I got the Ill-Clan book. I'm hoping that's not one of the books that you got me at Adepticon. Or at Gen Con.
I can't remember. I think it was.
Whatever. I have 2 now. Maybe we'll give it away as a giveaway.
There you go.
I got the Ill-Clan, and there's the other clan book. Or the other book that came around the Ill-Clan. What was the one?
Tamar Rising?
Yes.
You didn't get that one. I know that.
I did not get that one. Okay.
Because I got like the last one at Gen Con, so I know you didn't get that one.
And I almost picked up the Battle of Tucky Mat at Catalyst, but I was like, no. I got enough. Yeah. I got enough mats in my hoard as it is.
Yeah. Mats are one of those things. It's like, how many do you really need, really?
I got you some Giga robots also, the Rocket Scythe.
Fancy.
Shinokami, and I think it was the Phoenix Wing Shogo King, I think was the other
Giga
one.
Robo, yeah. They were there again, yeah. I remember
they were really good.
Last time we were there, I think you bought the set many eons ago now, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know our buddy Rick Hall, I saw his haul, and he also got...
it was because of us. Also. It was because of us he got it. And it's a fun game. I think we'll play it next time you're in town.
Yeah, did we play it before? I can't remember. I think we did.
No, we had snow. I don't think we did because we had so many other games to play.
Yeah, maybe. There's so many games.
Yeah. What else was in my haul that was mech related? I didn't get any cab, but cab, surprisingly enough, was at Adepticon.
Yeah, they're always there.
Not necessarily. They remember we talked to John and he said it was too expensive and he wasn't going to be there for near future.
Yeah, maybe. But he was there. I remember. I don't know, 3 years ago, whatever. Last Adepticon he was there.
Yeah, so we'll chat about that later in the hangar, MechBay Hanger.
Yeah, so we'll have more of a wrap up of Adepticon.
Yeah. What else did I do mech related? I think that's about it, actually. Yeah, most of my shopping and everything went to Battletech this year.
That's good.
So
it's important.
What about you, my friend? What are you working on?
I did print up more of my Battletech mechs, that fan-made ones. So I think somebody started making some of the Ill-Clan mechs, Ill-Clan era mechs, which are not available anywhere else. So
are these people sculpting them, 3D sculpting them, and then putting a file out, or are these like ripped from a video game?
No, they've not been in any video games, so they must be 3D sculpting them themselves. So. And there's no official versions of these ones yet, so hopefully that'll be coming soon. That's what I would like to see from Catalyst, actually, for another Kickstarter or even just on their own, is to get... they did, like, last time they did the Clan Invasion, and I'd like to see more modern, like... Since they invented this new era, I think I'd like to see more support for this new era, like more new mechs and more faction books and stuff. Like, they had the Ill-Clan book, obviously, in Tamar Rising, but we need more from that era, since it is the newest. You got to embrace the era that you invented. That's what I say.
I agree.
Other than that, I did get a Big Bad Toy Store shipment came in. It's the beauty of Big Bad Toy Stores. You get a loot crate, like you just to put everything into your loot, and eventually you get enough stuff, and they'll send it to you. Well, they force you to get it sent eventually. So I got Skywarp and Thundercracker from Earthrise, the Seekers, to finish off my 3 Seekers from that, which is cool, so I got all them. And I also got Atlas Destroyer from Pacific Rim the Black, the Robo... What's it called? It's the Bandai... Robot Spirits, that's what it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That line. And he fits in pretty good with the... I have a bunch of the Diamond Select ones. He fits in pretty good. He may be a little bit smaller, but not by much. But he has swap out arms, because in the show he loses his arm, so you have to swap it with the arm that they put onto it, which is kind of fun. And totally posable, like really posable. And it's pretty reasonable price. I think they probably still have them there, but go to Big Bad Toy Store and check it out. Other than that, I don't think I've done anything else. I definitely haven't painted anything. We got to get back to painting. I haven't painted anything in probably a year. So
yeah, I know. We got to do that.
Yeah. So I have just piles of 3D printed miniatures around me that I just have to eventually paint. So that's my goal for the coming month. Now that the weather's getting slightly better, that I can actually prime stuff. So
yes.
Although this last few days has been wintry, but it's going up warm today, so that's all that matters. I think that's my Dropship. I don't think I have anything else going on.
All right, then.
Pretty quiet.
Brian, do you have anything?
Oh, no Brian. He probably didn't have anything anyways.
Oh, he bought some stuff.
I'm sure he did. We'll talk about it next time for Brian. Poor guy.
Okay.
Poor little guy.
I thought I'd just ask him just in case he was here. In the...
He's quietly just sitting here.
In the ether.
It's out there. Right now he's like woke up from a dead sleep. He's like, I got lots of stuff. What's happening? Yes. So there you go. That was
all right. And let's move on to ComStar.
I was going to say, you just said it.
I know, I had to think back.
Message from ComStar.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Rick.
From Dead's on the Podcast.
And you're listening to
Mobile Armor Radio.
All right, welcome to ComStar. So, Rob, do you want to take over on this and start? So you usually have a lot of news that you'd like to give out.
There hasn't been too much news, other than the big news is that there's a new Gundam series coming out in October called The Witch of Mercury. And it's the first one of the female protagonists. It looks like a fun new design, but we'll see.
Is she a pilot?
Yeah, I assume so. Well, all I've seen is really as a poster, so we don't really know too much about it. But
yeah, I was just curious about it too. I mean, I think it would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we haven't had Gundam, there's never had female pilots, though.
No, it's not. That's not new. It's just a main character. There's never, amazingly in all of Gundam's thing, there's never been a main, like the protagonist as a female, which is, I find that strange, but seeing how many others are not like that, but anyways, it's coming out in October. We'll see. That's in Japan, so hopefully it'll have a US or like English release similar time. I think it's a global world now, and they realize that I think it won't be like the olden days when you had to wait for a fan sub or anything. I think they'll probably release both at the same time. I actually just watched there's a Blade Runner anime that's out, and it was released at the same time in English and Japanese, so that was cool. I do suggest it's called The Black Lotus, Blade Runner Black Lotus. It's on HBO, so if anybody has HBO.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
really good, 13 episodes.
You're finding more out of HBO than I am.
Yeah, no mechs in Blade Runner, but it is still very cool. Anyways, Pacific Rim, The Black is coming back in April too.
So, I saw that, yeah. I was very
second season. That. So I think they say it's going to be the final season. I'm amazed it got a second season because I don't think it got too many. Yeah, Pacific Rim's not a huge property, but it hopefully, maybe if enough people watch it, we'll get another series, not just The Black, something else maybe. So I like the first season. Obviously, I just bought that the toy, so I'm excited for the second season, April 19th. So it's coming out soonish. Other than that, there was I don't know how you pronounce it. Everybody said, I don't know, is it Ico? The site where you can buy bundles. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I've only ever seen it written. But they had a bundle for Ukraine, which was cool. And there was, thousands of things in the bundle. And it ended up making over $6 million for Ukraine fund, charities, which I thought was amazing. Unfortunately, it's ended, but you can still buy anything in the bundles on that site. And we did find a few. There's a few mech tactical games that we mentioned. There's also tons of video games and stuff. I haven't gone through everything that we got. It's tons of stuff. But a few of the mech games, one's called Apocalypse Frame. We haven't tried out yet, but it's supposed to be Rules Light. Everything's Rules Light nowadays. Rules Light Tactics. Binary Star Games made this Apocalypse Frame. Once again, it's agnostic rules. So as we talked about last month. Jeez, I can't even think of it. And it looks, it's one of those games that we'll have to see. There's a lot of these, like we were talking about last time, agnostic games. So it's good to try it out. And there's another one called Orbit Link, which is, once again, Rules Light. That's the Rules Light sci-fi miniatures game. But this one seems to be more mixed units. There's infantry and mechanized units, so I think it might be more of a, kind of more like, what was that game that Ash Barker did? That mech game.
Oh, I always forget the name of it.
Yeah, what was that called? Anyways, speaking of which, there was another, well, maybe we'll talk about it later, but there was another agnostic game coming from Ash Barker that's mech related, but I don't know if you got to see it at Adepticon or not. We'll talk about it later, I'm sure.
Yes.
Other than that, there's not much news. I didn't see anything else really. There's always, like I said, there's tons of games.
I just posted that Voltron.
There's another Voltron coming?
Yeah, I just posted it in the Mobile Armor group. I didn't get a chance to read the actual article, but it's a new movie.
Is it going to be live action or anime?
It looks like it's going to be anime.
Yeah.
It's not coming. It's in the works from the Red Notice director, but it's not coming on Netflix. Is what they're saying.
Yeah, which is weird because Netflix is where the current I guess it's not really anime. It's more a cartoon, but
yeah. So they're looking to make this a movie, but I think it's still going to be a cartoon. Rawson Marshall Thurber, the guy who directed that Red Notice with The Rock and Gal Gadot and
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah,
so which was actually a pretty good movie. I watched it. It was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was kind of by the book, but it was a fun movie.
Yeah. So
this is still being pitched to studios, so we'll see if it actually happens.
Yeah.
But
he's saying he's describing a bidding war between the studios for the project. So it seems like it's got a good chance of becoming a movie.
Yeah, we'll see. I would love to see a live action version, but I don't know. It's hard to do those. The Gundam one is going to be if and when that live action movie happens, that'll be the one that's going to be the watershed moment. Either it'll be tons of mech movies coming out, and hopefully get that HBO Battletech series that we've all wanted. But that'll be. I think Pacific Rim might have been a little too early, and we'll see if this Gundam one hits big. It could be the beginning of something. A renaissance, as it were, in live action. Because there hasn't been much live action. Like, they did that one, was it G Gundam or whatever, back in the day, which was, they did that Pat Labor live action, which only had the robot in it for like 2 minutes, maybe. Which was still a fun movie, but it was not the same.
Yeah, 100%.
But, yeah, it's live action. Nowadays, I think with computer graphics being so good, that it's almost, everything's made. Even like car chases and stuff are all done CGI anyways, so I don't think it's much different to do a mech fight scene than all the superhero movies. Most of the people are CGI in those fight scenes, so I think it's come to that point where it's ubiquitous, where it's so easy just to make CGI realistic and cheap. I guess, cheap enough. So
yeah,
we'll see. I want since it is all CGI, I would like. To star in my Voltron movie, we can have like Errol Flynn and
he's dead.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We can have
CGI. Sorry, we're doing CGI guys.
Yeah, that's right. Now. You can add all these people. Orson Welles as who's the their handler? I forget his name. It's been a while. I've seen Voltron, the original.
Yes,
it doesn't hold up. I can tell you that much.
The original.
The original?
I enjoyed it.
It's one of those ones where the cartoons back then, unlike Robotech, why it stands up still is because back then it was like, something happens, okay, reset. Like, especially Thundercats was really bad back in the day. But, same era. Even G.I. Joe it's fun, but it's not the same.
I just remember the mech game you were thinking of was Gamma Wolves.
Yeah, that's it, Gamma Wolves, yeah. That's the Ashburger game.
Yeah, and you were right. He is coming out with another one.
Yes. Did you see it? It's by, what's that terrain company?
Death Ray Designs.
Yeah, Death Ray Designs. They were at Adepticon, so.
Yeah, they were at, we'll talk about it again, but they were at the Geek Nation Industry Night.
Ooh, fancy. Okay, well, that's it for my ComStar. I have nothing else going on.
Yes, I don't have too much in ComStar because we talked about mostly all the books that I got from Catalyst, but I did pick up something from Terrace Cassidy, our good friends from Geek Nation Tours. If you want a awesome tour of geekiness,
yeah,
Terrace has a list of major tours. Like he's got a new one now, a D&D one where you get to meet the Gygaxes and stuff. I don't know if they do that anymore, but they do the tour still, the D&D tour. But
yeah, they did that. I remember they they played with some.
They played with the Gygaxes and some of the original guys.
They actually DM'd it and stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were at Gen Con for many years. I don't think they're doing that either anymore yet, are they?
Not this year, but they're going to start coming back.
That's good.
They
also do. I know they did the one we always want to go on. They do a Japanese, like historical Japanese tour, which would be amazing. And they also do an anime Japanese one, which also would be amazing. So.
Yeah, he does several Japanese ones. He does sword making Japanese tour.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things we're going to do.
So when we win the lottery, that's what we're doing. So
yes, definitely. He turned me on to a new set of books that I am very excited to read called Mecha Samurai Empire series. So the basis of the Mecha Samurai Empire series it's by Peter Tirias. I can't pronounce it. Tirias. It's spelled TierYas if you're looking into it. Came out in 2016, the first book. It's 3 books. The first book's called The United States of Japan. Basically the story centered around an alternative America where the Nazis and Japanese won World War II, not unlike Man in the High Castle, but this one primarily focuses on the Asian side of the war. So again, this time the United States divided in half. There's no neutral zone in the middle. But most of the place takes to the United States of Japan, where they develop mechs and stuff like that. So
what's the point of taking over the world if you can't develop mechs, right?
Yeah, so it just kind of goes on there with the United States of Japan stories within that. So there's like the quiet border between DMZ and the German Americas. And then apparently it's won a lot of awards in Japan and here too. So I'm looking forward to seeing it because I would like to see the alternative where Japan and them, and then Japan has the mechs.
Yeah, it looks the covers. I've been looking at the covers on Amazon right now are amazing.
Yeah. So that's my new set of books I want to read.
Yeah, we got the hear your review eventually.
Yes. So what else did I do in ComStar? I played a game of Battletech at Adepticon, which was fun. I hadn't played a full-blown game of Battletech, like full rules, in such a long time.
Did you just randomly play, or how'd you end up playing?
Oh, so some guys that I know, the Nerd Herders, if you haven't listened to their podcast, they're a nerd podcast. And I've met them throughout years of Adepticon and things. We got to be really good friends. So they come to Adepticon every year, and they said, "Hey, we're coming to Adepticon. It's been 2 years. You want to try and get together and play some games?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's try and do that. I think I might have Saturday night free because we weren't doing Mantic Open Night."
Yeah.
And so we said, "All right, what do you want to do?" I said, "Let's play some Battletech because we always talk about Battletech online and playing." So that's what we organized the game, and we got together. We played 3-on-3. I had a Shadowhawk. And I think we won.
Oh, you only had one mech each?
Well, come on. I mean, we were going to play, 6
you only had a night to play it, yeah.
6 mechs. I think we started at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and I think I pushed the eject button around 12:30.
Yeah.
I mean, we had done some pretty much damage. This game could have gone another 2 hours.
Yeah, that's the problem with Battletech right there. That's why I'm a pro Alpha Strike guy.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to play Alpha Strike because I was supposed to show them how to play Alpha Strike, but no one had Alpha Strike cards.
But you got to go online to what is it? Mech. What is it called?
The Mech Factory.
Mech Factory, or there's a I can't remember what the other one is called. There's another one that just has all it is just the Alpha Strike lists.
Yeah. Well, that being said, is that we didn't do that.
So you had to actually play with the sheets and everything? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you know what it was? We didn't have an Alpha Strike rulebook to reference if we needed to.
Yeah. The Commander's Edition just came back in stock for Alpha Strike.
Yeah.
But maybe they didn't have
any. Oh, you know what? That's another book I picked up was a Commander's Edition.
Oh, that's Alpha Strike. You had it then. Well, you didn't pick it up. No. You probably didn't pick it up till Sunday, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I think my Alpha Strike is not the Commander's Edition.
No, we have the original 2 books. The Commander's Edition kind of puts them both together and does some errata for it. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So that, I think, is my ComStar. I think because I really just played Battletech. I got that list of books from
Terrace,
yeah. I didn't pink any. No, yeah, that's about it. So it was a very, very quick ComStar, but I was very, very excited to get a game of Battletech in. I was dissipating. I didn't have triple heat sinks like those freaking clans, so
only double.
I can only dissipate 12 points of heat a turn.
Another reason to like Alpha Strike, you don't have to worry too much about heat. So
No, not so much, and you don't have to worry about location.
No.
All the time.
There is a options for that. For somebody's done some options for Alpha Flight 2 or Alpha Strike, not Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
To add things in like the hit locations, because that is kind of fun to do hit locations. But it's every little thing you add adds time to the game, though. That's the key.
Yes.
And I'd rather play with a bunch of mechs in less time than play one mech in 5 hours. So
100%.
It sounds fun.
All right. So let's move on to the MechBay Hanger, and then we'll do a small wrap-up of what happened in Adepticon.
Yes, I need to know everything.
Now entering the MechBay Hanger.
All right, MechBay Hanger. Let's talk about Adepticon. I guess this is going to be all me, huh? Because I'm the only one.
It's going to be a lot of talking from you.
That went by myself. I mean, Brian went too, but since he's encased in a mech, I don't think we put any vocals on his mech, did we?
No, we forgot to add the external speakers. He's just sitting here powered.
Yeah. So what to say? So let's talk about what's in the dealer room first. Like I said, John Walker and Cav were a big hit there. Apparently Reaper didn't come, so I think because John works very closely with Reaper, that he was able to use their spot, because I know he ran their paint and take normally over there. So
the Reaper wasn't there at all.
No. So
Wow.
and the Cav, John set up his Cav booth, which was a great looking booth, by the way. I didn't get a chance to say hi to John. I was very kind of busy. I tried to catch him at the beginning, but he got there always at the time when the doors opened, so I couldn't really roll away.
Yeah. You were
booth,
pretty short-staffed this year yourself, right?
Yes, very, very short staff. So my time off the booth was just to use the bathroom and get back.
Yeah.
But John's booth looked good. There was a lot of Cav walking around in the booth. I saw a lot of people check out the books. Whenever I got a chance, I always give them this is a good game, you should get it, kind of a thing. When I walked by, but it was good to see that the Cav was back again at Adepticon. I would love to see John and the game put out more stuff.
Yeah.
What else did we see? Catalyst, of course, was out there like we talked about earlier.
Were they in the hallway again? They were always outside of the dealer room, right?
That's their shtick now, I think, is they're out in the hallway out there.
Yeah.
So that place was always packed. Everyone was, of course, getting Battletech
especially now,
stuff.
like last time when they were there, it was before the big Battletech resurgence that all the 40K players came over. So I can only imagine how busy it was now with all those players.
100%.
I'm sure they sold out most of their starter boxes and stuff like that right away.
Yeah, there was. I think most of the clan boxes went away too.
Yeah,
the figure boxes.
Yeah, that's the stuff that goes fast.
The thing is, I couldn't tell how much stock they had, so I don't know if they.
By the end, you're like, I can't tell if this is full or empty. Yeah.
But I did get a lot of books from those guys, so my suitcase turned into a million pounds.
Yeah, but you didn't have to fly at least.
No, that's 100%.
You had to throw it in the back of your vehicle.
Yeah, so I lucked out and everything. So it was good to, like I said, it was good to see some Battletech there. Some of the things, let's see, Gamma Wolves and Osprey book was there, but Ash Barker was not there, surprisingly enough.
Well, he's Canadian also, so I think he had the same idea as me and Jack, where we don't want to have to deal with all the testing and traveling.
Yeah, which ironically ends April 1st. Tomorrow.
Yeah, it was a little, if it would have been like 2 weeks earlier, we could have gone, but yeah. But how was the dealer room? How full was it? Was it a lot smaller than usual, or?
It was the same size, but I think attendance was a little bit down because it didn't seem as packed. Yeah. It didn't seem as packed as normally it was.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure attendance was down.
Yeah.
Just because some people are still worried or didn't, you have to try to work around the rules. Like international people, probably nobody international was there, like very few. So.
Let's see. Oh, what's his face was there? Studio 75 or 45, whatever that is. Was there those
paint companies?
Those guys are Italian, I think.
Oh yeah.
At least they sounded Italian because their booth was butted up against theirs, and I could hear him talking in the back.
Yeah, I think they're from.
It was boopy boopity boppity.
That's racist.
That's the Family Guy.
Yeah. Well, plus Mantic, which you work for, is a British company, and none of the British people came for that either, right?
Just one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Martin braved
snuck through the.
Well, coming in he said it was a lot of work, but coming back if you're English, they don't even test anymore.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, at least you didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, hopefully Gen Con's the one that everybody comes back to, so we'll see.
It'll be nice.
Yeah, because we haven't seen the British guys in a long time. Well, you saw the head of the company recently. He was traveling for other shows, right?
That he was with his kid also.
Yeah. So,
what else? Giga Robot was out in the foyer again too.
Yep, that's what they were.
It's good to see his game. One of the things to mention is that he's got a new expansion coming. That he's adding kaiju.
Oh, fun! So
now you can either pilot a robo or you can control a mech, a kaiju. It sounds like.
Yeah, that game was it's very influenced by the early Japanese guys in suits kind of things, like
the anime kind of stuff.
What's your show, Ultraman? Like that kind of idea. So I'm amazed that the kaiju weren't already in that game. So
yeah, well, I mean, these are all piloted robot mechs. So
yeah, but
at least in the game because you play. Yeah, I mean,
just the look of it. I'm saying.
Well, one of them looks like oh Christ, who's that guy I'm thinking of? Oh, Mazinger.
Yeah, I think that's their influence, definitely, those early Japanese ones.
Yeah.
Super robos, not so much real robots, that's for sure.
Yeah, so that's definitely what it is. These guys, and of course, this is my bread and butter. This is what I grew up on. So it really calls to me when I look at these things.
Yeah.
It was good to see him. We actually chatted a little bit, so we went try and talk with, I think his name is Alex, the creator of the game, and get his take on mechs and his future plans for Giga.
Have an interview with him at some point, I'm sure. That'd be great.
Yeah, I just need to reach back out to him again. So, what else do we have at Adepticon? Death Ray Design had Ash Barker's other game.
Yeah,
coming out, Steel Rift.
Yeah, that's the new game, Steel Rift.
They had the book, I think, for sale.
Yeah, that was its coming out party. They were announcing.
Yeah, I did not get it. I thought about getting it, but I didn't get it.
And that should be interesting. No Dust this year; they're gone. So that was they always used to have a huge booth too. So that'd be a big missing section too.
Yeah, No Dust.
It's a different landscape from last time there was an Adepticon, that's for sure. A lot of companies are no longer around, so that it would be interesting to see that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I did. So with Geek Nation Tours, they do an industry night where they bring in a bunch of different creator of games, and we are fortunate enough to be invited on a regular basis. And this year, Death Ray Designs came, and so. Usually what happens at these industry night things with the tour is we chat with Kurt Terrace's group, which is usually anywhere from 15 to 20 people strong. And then after we're done chatting, of course we have dinner. Then we all get up and we talk to everyone. We're Battletech, we do this, blah, blah, blah. Everyone comes up, gives their company spiel, talk about what's coming out, do a Q&A about with the Geek Nation Tour people and answer questions. And then after we do that, what we do is we grab tables and then we set up demo games for them to play. So they are also, so the Geek Nation Tours also gets a first chance to try some of these games out before everyone else does. And one of the games they brought was Steel Rift. I unfortunately did not get a chance to play. Yeah, so I was too busy chatting and working my little area of gameplay. But it looked pretty cool. I think they were using Battletech models over there. Mm-hmm. But everyone seemed to have fun, and the people I talked to, they said it was a pretty solid set of rules for, again, a miniature agnostic game. So I'd be curious to try it out one day.
Yeah. Because I know Gamma Wolves was, once again, it was a lot of infantry and what they call it, combined tactics. So I wonder if this other one's more mech centered. We'll see.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you mentioned all the other companies. You never mentioned the company you work for, Mantic. They just came out with Dead Zone 3.0, which has tons of mechs in it. If anybody's interested in playing that game, so you never even
well, yeah,
supported your own company.
I always forget we have Striders, and
it's like the new Asterian. What's it called? The Spectra.
Spectra, and then the Iron Ancestor Artificer, which is like a Doc Ock kind of a mech.
Yeah, and it's a skirmish game. So it's small numbers on the table, but Firefights coming out, which is the larger version, which you can field a lot more fun stuff. So
yeah, field a lot more mechs, like a couple stunt bots.
You guys never had Firefights not out yet, right? It hasn't been released.
It was supposed to have released at Adepticon, so all our planning was to have it debut at Adepticon, but shipping screwed us.
Oh yeah, so it'll be Gen Con where that has its big coming out?
No, I think it's just going to come out in 2 weeks because it literally arrived the Friday of Gen Con.
No.
The container literally arrived the Friday of Gen Con in the UK.
Yeah, so it just was delayed.
Yeah, I mean, shipping is bad. People are like, oh, shipping. But it's pretty bad, especially the containers. But I guess FedEx is even real, or DHL is in a real bind because, as people know, the Corvus Belli, they were missing half their shipping by the time they arrived. Wow. By the time it arrived to Adepticon.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, DHL was just like, I don't know where it's at.
Because they just came out with they have mechs in their game too, but they just came out with a new, I think it's called Red something.
Mm-hmm. And that was the part of the shit that was missing.
Yeah, that's crazy because they just came out with that game, so I'm sure a lot of people wanted to pick that up there.
Oh yeah, it was bad. And I talked with the guys from there. They're good guys. The Corvus Belli. We have also
Spanish people. They're a Spanish company, so they made
it. So they were very, very sad.
I'm sure,
and I felt for them because there's nothing like going, and because as a guy who handles the trade shows in America, it's just no worse feeling than expecting to have something that you're excited about to sell to people, and you just don't have it.
Yeah. Now you know how Star Wars felt that first Christmas for their toys. But yeah, that's it is unreliable at best. You got to kind of plan once you get it, then you can plan into it. But until then, just don't even expect anything to be there.
No, I mean, yeah, just expect to be disappointed.
Yeah,
with shipping nowadays. Is there anything else I can think of?
Well, you guys had lots of tournaments and fun stuff. Everything went off well. I heard everything ran perfectly.
Yes, thanks to Brian before he died and was encased in steel. And Rick Hall, Mike Carter stepped up and took over for the Clash of Kings when we had someone kind of buy out due to vaccine protocols. And
Andy WK was there, didn't he? Crazy A was there, wasn't he?
Crazy A was there, and he helped out in the booth with Armada demos. John Jack was there.
John Jack, of course, yeah.
So it was a good time. So we did. So I mean, Armada was by far our shining star. I can't believe how
it was a Gen Con too, which we were kind of amazed about that. How many people want a ship-based, like sailing ship-based combat game?
Yeah, it was strange, and again, it took off here. We had an Armada tournament, the first national tournament ever in the States, and we had 20 sign up and 20 show up, which is very, very rare.
Yeah. Yeah, usually
At a con like this.
Yeah.
Because most people will sign up for a tournament if they're on the waiting list for another one, then they get in on that, and then they roll out of the other one.
Or you get distracted. I've skipped tournaments at cons when you just, you're like, I'm having too much fun doing what I'm doing. I don't want to bother going over there,
Yeah, or I'm just too lazy to get up and go over there.
Yeah, exactly. I've found something else to do, and I'd rather not bother. So it just shows how excited people are for it. That's good. It's a fun game. No mechs in it though. Maybe there is. There is a dwarf fleet, so those dwarves, they do like building their wacky inventions. So.
It's Steam stuff.
Yeah. There's Steam mechs. There's tons of steampunk mechs. So.
Yeah. And there was this sci-fi terrain stuff out there called Tinker Turf. It's I think it's cardboard.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people with that. I didn't know what it was. Yeah.
It's really sci-fi terrain. It's really kind of almost Dead Zone-based terrain, but it's made out of cardboard. I didn't mess around with it. I didn't look at it too much.
So it's kind of like Battle Systems.
Yes.
Yeah, which one's... Yeah, Battle Systems is the one that's cardboard, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this looks like something you could probably use for mechs too, in a Battletech sense, or even a Cav sense.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of...
for alternative terrain stuff, you can check out Tinker Turf.
Yeah, it's... there's a lot of choices now for terrain. There never used to be. So... That's I actually just backed a 3D printer terrain for Battletech, so I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah, Monument Paints was across from us. So if you don't know who Monument Paints are, they are the Pro Aqua guys that make Pro Acryl, the paints.
Yeah.
And the
airbrush paints. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they can be sprayed in airbrush or they can be brushed on.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't heard me talk about Pro Aqua, because I use their transparent paints, and which is what I'm using to paint the red on my Neo Shang, which I need to get back to. Jesus Christ!
You should have shown them pictures and say, "Look what I'm doing with your paint."
Yeah. So it looks. So they were there behind the booth. So I was able to pick up their first set of paints because right now all I have is all their transparent. So I was curious to try their acrylic sets. So I'm going to play it, which is another reason why I'm excited to get to painting, because now I got this new paint set that I want to try out. Mm-hmm. Looks like Rick bought them too. I don't know. It looks like he bought more than one set to me.
Yeah, I think he got some deal going with those guys. So
yeah, we did a lot of
dealers.
A lot of people traded. I know Martin traded for all their sets, so he's got all 4 sets.
Yeah, there's a lot of. You can always use more paint. I think that's the answer to life.
Yeah, I mean, if it's good paint, here's my thing. If James Wapple uses it, it's got to be all right.
Yeah. And if you don't know who James Wapple is, go check out his stuff. I think he's got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, James Wapple. Just look up on YouTube. He twitches every day, pretty much every day.
That sounds wrong.
Oh, yeah. He Twitch streams every day. So if you want to learn some really cool painting techniques, right now, so a lot of people like Martin and Kyle Preslinski have switched over, and I haven't yet. My wife says I should try it. James is now painting in oils. He's painting miniatures in oils.
I've seen that a lot of the Camo Specs guys for Battletech are doing oils now too to just add some extra layers.
It
gives a little depth and stuff.
Depth, and it's easier to blend the paints.
A lot of blending, yeah.
Because you can blend, you can keep going back and blending.
Yeah, you can reactivate it, yeah.
Well, you don't reactivate it. It just doesn't. It takes 3 days to dry.
Yeah.
So you could put it down, and then you just start painting again like you left off.
Man, I am so impatient. I would never have the patience for that.
No, neither would I.
I want my mech done that day, like if I'm painting a mech. But that's the big wigs.
So, but the blending looks spectacular if you know how to do it. So, maybe I'll get enough balls to try it. But I know I'm good at what I do, and so I'm not ready to try something new yet.
And you're not trying to win a golden demon or anything. You're just,
no.
You're painting for yourself.
Well, my problem is I have like Jack. I'm cursed with hands of stone.
Yeah.
So handling of a figure that's going to stay wet for 3 days while I'm trying to paint it.
Oh yeah, I would definitely touch it. You need one of those holders at that point for sure.
Yeah, I still think I'll mess it up though, because I drop the figure while I'm painting sometimes.
Yeah. That, and then you get like, especially with oils, it'd be still wet. You get stuff stuck to it. And
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I will, but we'll go from there. All right.
Something big like your mech you're painting there. That might be interesting actually.
Yeah, maybe I'll do one of the Battlestar Galactica models I have, or Buck Rogers models.
Yeah, you have a lot of models that you just have sitting there that you've never put together. So
yeah. So all right, well, I think that's it for Adepticon. We kind of went over through pretty much all the dealers that were relevant to us, I guess.
And you survived.
And then some. I did. I'm just going up and down the.
I just miss going. I would love to be there. It just sucks so we couldn't get there. But next year for sure. Yes.
But hopefully that we can get Jack to come to Gen Con. I know you don't mind coming to Gen Con.
Oh yeah, I love Gen Con. It's an event. It's tiring and it's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Especially once last year it was kind of subdued because there was a lot of restrictions, and for ourselves we put in our restrictions.
Yeah, the COVID stuff.
So this year, hopefully, it'll be a lot more open. We'll have some of the other guys there too, which love seeing the British guys and stuff. So, be fun times. It's always an adventure. That's the least to say.
100%. All right, let's close this baby out and head down to the ExFil.
Let's ExFil out of here.
All right, the ExFil. Here we go. Time to take off. Hoser.
You're speaking my language.
I'm speaking. I'm bringing the 80s back with that.
Was that even? That might have been 70s.
That
SCTV.
That might have been the 70s. Might have been
very early 80s. Yeah.
Late, maybe 79, 80.
Yeah.
We'd have to go back and look. But yeah, Adepticon was a good time. Those who didn't come, sorry you couldn't make it. But if you are in the mechs, there's a lot of mech Battletech tournaments going on there. Catalyst is always there. You should think about coming out.
Yeah, they do have a lot of tournaments and stuff too, which you never got to see, and I never get to chance. There's some fun stuff goes on there's tons of stuff going always on at Adepticon if you're into miniature games, that's for sure.
So yeah, if you're a big Battletech fan, you're a big Cat fan, come on out, come see us. Maybe we'll even play a game of Cat or Battletech with you guys.
Yeah, although next year you'll be busy on Saturday because there will be a Mantic Night. So
yeah, well, we can do it on a Friday.
Yep. Yeah. Other than that, please go to our Facebook page, where we post a lot of stuff. We do have a Discord that once in a while I post stuff in. Pat refuses to go to it, and Brian does too. So
I don't refuse to it. I just forget.
And our Twitter. You can check Mobile Armor Radio and all those things. We're everywhere. Please, social media us. And, yeah, give us some comments.
Give us some comments. We look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, and definitely if you're on Facebook still, sharing stuff on the Facebook page is great to see because people keep putting stuff on, especially after the last episode. People were posting their agnostic games they were talking about, and
that was awesome.
Good interaction. Yeah.
So.
Yep, fun times.
All right. Well, let's everyone give Brian some well wishes. Maybe his body will kind of hit some kind of regenerative.
Yeah, we do have him in that cocoon. Body in the cocoon.
And the mech, and he might be able to come back next month.
And hope that he doesn't stomp on your house in the meantime, because
exactly.
It's quite a large mech.
We're hoping he just doesn't kind of go crazy and start slamming everything with his newly found mechanical body.
He seems to me the type that would just, I finally have the power, and he's just going to go stomp him.
You wronged me!
Yeah. As long as this mech isn't operated like the Darling in the Franxx ones, that's all that matters.
Oh my Jesus.
On that note.
On that note, I've been your host, Chopper.
I've been Rob.
And we thank you for listening to Mobile Armor Radio. We will see you next month.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This has been Mobile Armor Radio. Join our Facebook group by searching for Mobile Armor Radio. Find us on Twitter at MArmorRadio. Find us on iTunes and visit our website, mobilearmorradio.podbean.com. Join us on the first of every month for more Mecha discussion.